Now, back in the 80s, Marvel published several comics based on toy tie-ins, including G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Marvel also produced a cartoon series based on that toy.
Which, speaking of, we're going to go to Q, who talked to a G.I. Joe podcaster.
This is the Q from Comics Experience Sci-Fi. I'm here at the legendary Golden Apple comic book store. So, according to you, because you're the G.I. Joe experts, so the remake cartoons, do you see them as comparable to the original cartoons, or are they just, to you, just a waste of time?
No, I don't think they're a waste of time. I think they're well done. I think they're fun to watch. On my show, I like to refer to it as there's no talking birds on the new shows. The old show had these elements of, it was grounded in, you know, a cartoon reality.
Right.
But then you had a talking bird.
Okay.
You know, and then you had a dentist with no shirt running around creating clones of dead emperors, you know?
Right.
So there's a charm that comes to having Serpentor run around.
Here's what's wrong with all cartoons that's out nowadays.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite episode of the original G.I. Joe series?
Oh, that's easy. It's called Worlds Without End. It's a two-parter, and it is amazing. It deals with alternate realities. The Joes get shunted into an alternate universe, and they actually find their own corpses. It was like the only time in the show where they dealt with like hard actual death. It's a two-parter, and then once they figure out what happened, then they have to decide, do we stay in this reality and help this world fight Cobra? Because Cobra won. A couple of Joes actually stayed there.
Really?
Yeah, and then they wrote him out of the show. Although they came back in the movie, which was funny. But a lot of people look at that as one of their best favorite episodes.
Can we find your podcast on iTunes?
You can, yeah. It's iTunes, Stitcher, yeah, pretty much anywhere you find your podcasts. What we do is we watch every episode of the show in chronological order. And we interview a guest, kind of find out what their connection is to the show, and then we sit down and we Mystery Science Theater it.
This has been the Q from Comics Experience Sci-Fi with the biggest G.I. Joe expert I know, and his name just happens to be Joe.